Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. And I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
With company.
We have special guests.
We do indeed. I'm very excited.
We have Benji, my brother, from another mother.
Literally.
Yeah. And Star.
We share a mother.
I do not share a mother.
No, not with
Karina.
Star. No.
No, that would be problematic. I am Ben's wife.
Word.
So, yeah. So it's happy, good, fun times today. I'm really excited because we have some pretty interesting topics going.
Mm-hmm.
And our weekly recap
I know.
is going to be a minute because it's going to be a 4-person recap today. I think it's actually your turn to go first, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What was my week? I never remember. I
know it takes a minute to go back and be like, what was this week and what was last week? And what was the dream that I had?
What were my goals?
Oh, jeez.
Goals. Some people are put together. Can't relate.
No.
You got sick this week.
I did.
Yeah.
I was sick for most of the week. That's probably why I can't remember it.
That would make sense.
I was hallucinating for most of it.
You and fevers are not good friends at all.
Well, you kind of are because I'm funny as hell when I'm seeing shit. It's kind of the best.
I used to hallucinate on fevers, but now I don't get fevers at all anymore.
Have you tried fevers?
Until I tried fevers.
I don't do shrooms. I do fevers.
What an exciting experience.
Right? But yeah, I was sick all week. We had to go get COVID tested.
Yep.
Which was fun. That took way too long.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get yours? Because you had to get one too.
Mine was so I had 2 because I had rushed along. My husband had COVID, brought the plague into our house, but we're both vaccinated, so it wasn't a huge deal. So I took 2 tests. I took one on, I think,
Monday
and then one on Tuesday, and both came back negative within 24 hours.
Nice.
Which was nice. And they're free, so I was like, I'll just take them until I'm clear. Yay. So I never caught it from
Just
him,
get
which
a bunch
was great.
of kits, do it yourself.
Right?
Send it off.
Yeah.
They
so
do
I
that
never.
in other countries.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We do have rapid tests, but they're not super accurate.
Mm.
But yeah, so husband had COVID. I did not get COVID because I'm awesome.
Me either. I just had a flu.
Yeah.
Summer
Because you have
flu.
children.
Yeah, they brought the plague. They brought their version.
Their version. It was the child plague.
That's why. Did you see my room where I had the desk at the end of the bed? I had that set up because I was like, I have to be in lockdown because it could be COVID.
Right.
So Jen set up a little desk for me in my room.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's what I did. I zoned out all week
There you go.
and tried to get better.
I had more hell week.
Yeah.
So I worked from home Monday and Tuesday until my tests came back. Went in. No. I was out Wednesday too. Yeah. So I went in Thursday, Friday. Because, my tests didn't come back until Wednesday. So Wednesday afternoon, I was like, I'm clear. I'm coming in. I'll see you guys in a bit. And the week was it was a lot of reverb from the week before.
Oh, yeah. School drama.
Yes. But it was all right. And it was fine until Friday afternoon where everything went horribly wrong.
Is it okay if we post those pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll
I'll let you guys see what I looked like over the weekend because it wasn't fun.
No.
And I just kept sending him pictures and videos and being like, look at my face. This is messed up. What is happening?
And it didn't stop either.
No.
It just kept going.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Well, and I was worried about going to sleep on Friday night because I was like, what if it does affect my airways and I'm not I'm out cold?
Yeah.
What the fuck? So it started with a burning in my eyelid. And then from there, it turned into the whole eye swelled, and then both eyes swelled, and then my cheeks were swollen, and my I have really bad dry patches right here.
Yeah.
From where it was all stretched. And so
Jesus.
Friday, I was like, should I go? Should I not go? I'm incapable of determining what is
Yeah, well,
the line. Where should I put the line?
Well, we set up parameters for
Yeah.
it. I was messaging you. I was like, hey, if you start having issues breathing.
Oh yeah.
If it's still going after you took all the fucking antihistamines.
Oh my God, that was the other thing. So Friday night, I took 3 different antihistamines,
Yeah.
and I'm already on Allegra 24-hour twice a day. So I take Allegra 24-hour 12 hours apart. So it should not have happened at all. And then
Right.
I was on diphenhydramine and loratadine. So I had 3 different antihistamines on
Shit.
board, and nothing helped. So Saturday, I woke up and it was worse. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And so I did the chat with a doctor thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, do you feel like you need to use your EpiPen? And I was like, here's the thing. I am literally, no, what did I say? I said, my body is a dumpster fire and I am incapable of determining what's an emergency. Yep. And he was like,
I have an EpiPen in my hand.
Okay, good to know. And so he was like, you need to go to urgent care. I'm letting them know that you're on your way. So I go into urgent care and they were really nice about it because they were like, what happened? And I was like, I have no idea. I have the unholy trinity of EDS, dysautonomia, and probably MCAS.
And probably. I think that's
so I'm like, it was just an assumed thing. So they never did like official diagnosis. They were like, oh yeah, that's probably what that is.
Can I put a Apothecana in my eyes?
No, that was the other one.
You cannot.
Yeah. I was like, what do I do? It's so bad. And it was so itchy because all of my skin was so stretched out. Oh, it was painful. It sucked. And so once I was there, they like ran me through the drill and they were like, okay, so normally we would treat it with antihistamines, which you're on. And that's weird that it didn't help. But what happens if you take prednisone? And I was like, it makes my skin hurt, but I'll just tough it out. It's fine.
Yeah.
And so I got 2 mLs of prednisone shot into my ass. And they were like, this should last you like 2 to 3 days. I was like, okay.
Huh.
And then the swelling started to go down, which was really nice. But at the same time, prednisone is not my friend.
No, God, no.
And so I wound up just in really yucky pain all of last night and yesterday. And but yeah, it was a week. Again, still s'more. Yeah. How about you guys?
Benji has to do an entire like update.
I know.
I'm sorry, we're not Rochambeauing. You go first.
Yeah, Star technically hasn't been on the podcast yet, so.
It's true.
Well, yeah. So I guess you'll just do a like intro.
Hi.
Hi. So yeah,
I'm mentally ill. Kaylee.
I love it.
But yeah, no.
Catches that.
God, where did we leave off? Moral of the story: cars hate me.
Oh yes.
So we lost one car a couple of months, like a month ago. It was running just fine. Yeah, it was running just fine, and then out of nowhere, it's just like, need a new motor.
I'm done now.
It's just like, oh,
Jesus.
Great, thanks. So that's sitting in my work parking lot, and then our other car, the rack and pinion was all kinds of jacked up, so we just had to get that fixed, and I screwed that up, and then
Jesus.
waited like 3 weeks to get it fixed by another shop where I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna pay somebody, it's fine with this, whatever. And then the other shop was just like, oh, you actually didn't screw it up, it just needs a proper alignment. I was just
good.
like,
whew.
Thanks guys, much appreciated. So
Appreciate ya.
yeah, other than that, I started drinking apple juice before bed.
That sentence
What?
did not go the way I wanted
I
it
know.
to.
I was
Yeah.
like,
I started drinking. Did you?
Yeah,
I just started drinking.
just shots of apple juice before bed. It's
Why?
absolutely great. Because I heard a rumor that it increases like how vivid your dreams are.
okay.
And yeah, that
Why would you want that? I don't
I know. I'm
understand,
like, my dreams are already like
it'd be horrifying.
horror novels and
because mine are horror novels. I just never
Thrillers.
remember them.
Oh.
Fair.
So
You just hate yourself enough to set that up before you go to bed.
yeah, I was just like,
Sleep
you know
beauty.
what kind
Bad
of
issues.
demons actually haunt me that I just don't remember?
Let's try and
most
drag it
people go
along.
to therapy
You're so
for
horrible. I
that.
forgot about you. So yeah, no, that was a thing. I've started getting really gnarly cluster headaches behind my eyes. Karina described it as like ice picks
Yep.
just being stabbed behind your eyeballs. It's just, yeah, it's pretty horrible.
They're not fun.
Yeah, my collarbones are starting to just like walk by themselves. Like there's nothing holding them in place. They're just they're made of jello.
He's not had a surgery yet, which
No.
is like you probably need
Yeah,
more
Yeah.
stuff,
yeah.
Maybe,
things.
possibly,
Yeah.
probably.
treatments. And...
Maybe.
But October's coming up, and
It's
yeah.
on the horizon.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Explain that.
So in October, the company that I work for is open and rolling for their healthcare. Currently, I'm covered under Dad, but
Yeah.
I'm opting out of that to hop in at Kaiser so I can take Karina's whole support and
Yep.
care team. I can put you on there.
You better.
But yeah, and then once I hop off Dad's insurance, then we can finally do paperwork
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah, we can finally get married.
like
Like,
legally
legally.
married.
Because
Yay.
So yeah, that'll be nice.
Do you guys have a plan for that? Just kind of
very
vague.
bad at planning.
Find a
Oh,
living
fine.
find a
We're
living
all
room and
ADHD,
some
dude.
time. So.
Or you can just
We'll
like
just marry
go,
them at my
drive
house.
up somewhere pretty.
Yeah.
Ooh, you have a nice backyard.
Yeah.
You do have a nice
Marry
backyard.
them
Yeah.
at my house.
Let's get married in your backyard.
There you go.
I love your backyard.
That sounds like a plan.
Bet.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to
Bet.
have like a big wedding. I've never been that kind of person.
Bro.
Never.
Ask Bug about my wedding.
Oh yeah, your wedding was what, like
It was super tiny and it was lovely. And
super tiny and
backyard
super
wedding.
late. You guys were legally married like forever and a half beforehand.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was just
Yeah.
like, yep, this is
we
just
got
a
married
ceremony.
like 3 weeks before, and then my mother-in-law was like, "You're having a wedding." We were
Well,
like,
then, like,
"Okay."
technically, we're common law.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Colorado's common law after like 6 months.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we've been
Wow, they
we've
changed
been
it.
married.
yeah. They
For
just
a
really
while,
want everybody to be married all the time.
Yeah. Does that mean that like
I think it's to
Sagan's
protect
married to
people
Zach?
more than
Yeah.
anything. Yeah,
Because like if you have property and then
Yeah.
your
shared property
yeah.
and you break up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's work been for you?
Work has actually been really interesting. People have kind of backed off of the like not believing me about
Good.
being stretchy. Now they're all just super terrified to like bump into me because they're like, I'm gonna break him, and it's just like
You
you
gotta
might.
get people past that phase.
Yeah.
My thing was
Yeah.
always, "You're not gonna hurt me. If anything, I'm gonna hurt me."
Yep. So it'll
Good
just be
spot.
like doing something like lifting a tire up, and they're just like, Ben, put that down. I'm just like,
Well, I'm glad they,
no.
Give a shit though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
way better than it was before.
Well, yeah, because like I just kind of carry the whole team, and it's pretty apparent. All of my service advisors are just like, anytime they need something, they go to me, and anytime any of the other
That's what we
employees-
do.
yeah.
That's how we survive in the work world. Is we make ourselves completely indispensable,
Mhm.
and then we're like, "Hey, I've got some stuff going on, but you also depend on me." Ha,
Yep.
ha, ha.
I am invaluable and totally need to take a day.
Yeah. Well, but that's how it goes,
Yep.
and that's the process. That's the walkthrough that you have to do.
Yeah.
And actually, the service advisor or the service manager, he has the system where anytime anybody calls out, he has you sign a sheet of paper and then explain why you were out.
Yeah.
It can be as simple as like, hey, I just needed a mental health day. And he's just like, I got it on the record. It's fine. It's whatever.
Nice.
Just so that like, but he put that in after I was like, hey, I need time for this. I need time for that.
Yeah.
And he's just like, all right, cool. It's just
Nice.
flat out across the board
That's
for
nice.
everybody.
Yeah.
So anybody that misses time, everything goes on record. So I can
Good.
just be like, I had to go to the ER for blah, blah, blah. Or like,
Yeah.
I'm having surgery on this day or whatever.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
work situation's getting settled out. I definitely
Good.
don't feel like migrating shops anymore.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
It's important to have a place that actually gives a shit about you.
Stability is nice.
Yeah.
Well, and having someone be like, and it makes a difference because there were jobs where I worked where I had to take a whole day if I was having a bad time.
Mm.
But as I started getting better at explaining myself to other people, I was able to go, "Hey, I need an hour," or "Hey, I need a couple hours."
Yeah.
And that was okay. And they were like, "Yeah, take whatever time you need and then you can come in, or if you don't want to come in, that's totally fine too." So having that flexibility to do what I need to do is nice.
Yeah. But other than that, I finished all my online training, so now they're just sticking me behind a computer all the time, and that's probably what's been aggravating the cluster headaches behind my
Oh,
eyes.
yeah.
Yeah, screen time.
Yeah.
That'll
So
do it.
we're working on ordering some nice blue light blockers
Nice.
to find out if that makes a difference at
You
all.
need gamer glasses.
Yeah.
I do. That
Gamer
was actually
glasses.
what Mom recommended. She was just like, they have a whole quiz to tell you what kind of gamer you are and what kind of glasses to get.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
Gamer?
Oh, well, we have to do an introduction for you because you've not been on yet.
Yes.
So this
Hello.
is Star.
Hi. I'm married to this man who is currently struggling.
Struggle bus.
Always.
And I am also Stretch.
Yeah. You're an
Um,
unidentified stretch, right?
Yeah.
Yes, unidentified
just
Stretch. My
So technically she'd be in the
My category?
HSD.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Hypermobility
Hyper
spectrum disorders.
disorder.
my
Yeah.
mom has a diagnosis that's not like a proper diagnosis. It's like a loose diagnosis.
Apparently.
The doctor was like, "Oh, you have a connective tissue disorder,
Yeah.
but we're not going to tell you anything more." Or she just isn't telling me the full story, because she
Does that.
doesn't. Yeah,
Mind
she
games.
does that.
Fair.
So I'm just like, okay, well, cool. Found out about that shortly before I moved here. Didn't think about it, and then I met him. And then I was like, oh.
And now you have a family of people to compare to.
Exactly. And
God.
now I'm like, oh, so many things make sense because I genuinely just thought that I was dying as a kid. Like my mom's friends thought I had cancer.
We were literally talking about this the
Yeah.
other day. Or last night
It was
with
like,
Morgan.
what?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was talking about getting looking back on things and
right. plugging things in
Yeah.
and going, holy crap, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Through the lens of EDS, like, oh,
Even the movement disorder. So there had been times, and it was a super weird phenomena, and I've never thought about it before, but there is and this was happening to me in my childhood. So I was probably like 12, 13-ish and I remember it vividly. I was like being driven home from babysitting one day, and I literally couldn't keep my eyes open. And it wasn't that I was drowsy. It was almost like everything was really bright and I could not pry my eyes open. And that is the thing. That is part of
that happens a lot to me.
the like dyskinesia.
I always blame it just on other stuff.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's so weird. It's
just
so
bright.
interesting when you know like how many things plug into that. It is unbelievable.
To be honest, like every time one of you guys like mention something, I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
that happened to me once, or like, wow,
yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, because
Like,
for a
oh.
long time they thought they were like seizures, and they were like, they last too long. They can't be seizures.
Right, you're not having a 2-hour seizure.
Right.
yikes,
Nope. Just a
That'd be
movement
horrible.
disorder. It's
Hmm.
great.
much fun,
Yes.
much fun. Should I like weekly recap?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I'm like, not much happened. I don't know. My work's been very annoying. I work in a place where the way that they handle me just being like, hey, I'm kind of broken, is they just assume that I have no muscle strength,
Oh,
which is
Nice.
not like I lift weights for fun. So that's quite the opposite. So yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, well, you can't do things. But then at the same time, they'll have me work all the days where we have a lot of physical labor because they trust me to do a better job. So
See,
that's
it's a
been
theme.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Make yourself indispensable, and then you can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
Great.
that's how you
Um,
season 2. You get to do whatever you want.
And outside of work, we just keep finding cash. Like I know it's the weirdest
Explain
thing.
this.
So
What?
we were on a walk to pick up our car from the shop. As he mentioned, our car was having some issues.
Uh-huh.
And on our walk, like I look down, I see $5, I pick it up, and then I walk a little bit further, and I'm like, oh, I see $2. I pick that up,
Is this
and then
fucking
we-
Animal Crossing?
and then we go about our day. We find out that our car job was cheaper, and then the next day we're doing laundry, and we pull out our laundry, and Ben just pulls out $6 out of the dryer, like perfectly unfazed, just
Shit.
$6.
I love cash because I always forget
Yeah.
about it, and then I'm like, oh look, magic money.
Right? Well,
Magic
and
money.
I have
It's
no
free.
idea where that came from. Like, we try to keep good mental notes on what's going on.
Oh
but
no.
like,
If it's cash, it doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah,
Like
Cash is
cash is
fun.
free. It's burnable.
literally.
burn it. Yeah. Quite
Or meltable.
Quite
Yeah,
true.
do what you want.
but yeah, I guess on a body note, lately I can't see my shoulder blade from my back on this side, but I can on this side. And I know that this is what's normal.
Uh-huh.
So that's been
But you're
alarming.
just
The
shoved
plate,
forward.
yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just like
Well, and I can see it.
Yeah.
Like, in how your stance is.
I'm just
your
like,
shoulders
I'm
here,
fucked.
and you're like guarding all of this.
Yeah, it's a lot of tension. I went to a doctor and she said that all of my issues, all of my physical pain
ready.
are because I have a tense muscle in my back.
All those years of trauma was a muscle on my back.
Yeah, I actually
Fuck.
and because like I don't have a diagnosis, I spent a whole week questioning my own reality. Like, wait, do I actually just have a
I
tense muscle in
have
my
a
back?
diagnosis, and I question reality all the fucking time.
See,
I don't have anything.
it's rough.
But you do through me. It's a vicarious diagnosis.
But I doubt it too.
It's the same.
It's like, no, she doesn't actually have it. She just tricked him.
Yeah, right.
Clearly.
You can't doubt me because then it's all over. I need
The
someone to
denial
tell
is
me
the only
what's
one
real.
holding it together. Yeah, no, it's
If you're ever
legit.
like, Karina's a fucking liar, I will just drive off a bridge.
I did that last week.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, he gaslit me. So rude.
No, I didn't. She's lying.
No eye contact. Here we
That's
go.
my favorite one.
I love it. It's so ridiculous. We like
Yeah.
to laugh at ourselves here.
Hey, you gotta. You
My
gotta be
stupid
fresh.
TikToks.
I'm sorry. That was unnecessary.
Watch our TikToks. They're horrible.
Yeah.
They're really funny. I think
There's
they're
something.
funny.
Anytime you send me one and I just open up my phone, it's just like, oh yes, this shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Well, and it's great for me because they always make me laugh because literally all of our best ones are him just killing me. Like with laughter, I just die fucking laughing. And then I'm wheezing into the mic and he's just smiling all self-satisfied.
No.
As you do.
Never
I
happened.
don't know what you're talking about. I don't even really know you. We just do a
We're
podcast
not related.
together.
He just pulled me off the street one day and was like, "Hey, you, small brown child, come here."
You were just like, how can I gather 4 people in a room and just make them talk about something?
I've been
That
planning
was the
this since
whole
I was a
plan.
young kid.
Yeah. Just
And
how
it's
can we get
finally
these
come to
people?
pass.
These are our final moments.
This is the end game.
You are now in the Twilight Zone.
There we go. One of my ears wasn't on.
I
Oh,
had the same
no.
thing.
Yeah, we're plugged into the same one.
That would
I
be
fixed
why.
it.
Yay.
Good job.
I jiggled the thingy.
So yeah, no, like another thing that's been happening is like I get really bad sinus pressure in my ear, and the only way to remove that is to readjust my jaw.
Yeah.
So like I'll do like a joint relocation on my jaw, and it'll release all the pressure in that ear, and then I can hear again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is the other thing. So I've started to like pain journal. I fucking hate it. I hate it because it's so frustrating. So I kind of do a recap at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, all of yesterday, I could hear the muscle flickering because you know how you can like make the whooshing sound.
Yeah.
I could physically hear the muscle just like flickering in my ear. It was so irritating.
I've had that before. It's like almost on the eardrum.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, and it's whatever muscles back
And I
there.
did not know what it was.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that as a kid.
Well, and that was
Just
all
like,
of
what the
yesterday.
hell?
And then
yeah.
I popped my neck and then I went to pop it this way and I was like, I can feel it wants to go, but it was like stuck.
Yeah.
And then I pushed past it and it was like a really gnarly crunch and relocate. And I very nearly blacked out again. Ha, ha, ha,
Fuck.
ha, 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 ha. But yeah, no, that fixed it.
Well, good.
It was
At least it was fixed.
because my husband just stared at me. He was like, Are you okay? And I was like, I don't know yet. Hold on.
We'll find out.
Yeah, count to 6, and if I'm on the floor, the answer is no.
Buffering.
Yeah, buffering. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Essentially,
I don't know if I'm okay. We'll find out. I had a burn it all down moment the other day. No, yesterday. I had like I'm gonna stop taking all of my meds, and because I had like this weird. I don't know. I didn't feel like they were helping me, and I just kind of crashed yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything was just so bad, and I didn't feel good, and the steroid made everything worse. And so I know it was like a passing thing, but my brain was just like, burn it all to the ground. No one can help you, and there's no point.
Yeah, like the Friday I had before you.
Yeah.
Like the same shit.
Yep.
Ugh. No.
Yeah.
Set it on fire and run for the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it all.
It was
Yeah.
like they just wanted me to double gabapentin. It's not helping. I'm in more pain because my hands have been so bad
Yeah.
this whole last week. They just hurt. And I was over it. I was like, I'm on double the gabapentin and nothing has changed.
Do you get random nail pitting? Like where
does
your
that mean?
nails develop weird pits in them?
Yes.
Yeah, apparently that's a sign of like joint
Oh.
swelling in your hands.
Yeah. that
And
makes
so
sense.
I keep track of it because
Well-
like my ring finger is continuously getting smashed at work as it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And so the entire nail is just covered in these little pits. And so like I just keep an eye on those joints and I'll just look down and be like, oh, it's like hella swollen. I should probably go ice that.
I
And
don't
so
ice anything anymore. Like I literally
my
I
back sometimes.
relocate shit and then I just sit on it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I've given up entirely on like aftercare for relocating.
It takes a lot of energy to do that kind of shit.
right.
You're like,
Well, and
fuck
at that
it.
point, I just don't care.
I remember what I did last week.
Oh,
I saw the specialist, the hip
that's
specialist.
right. Jen was texting me, and she was not pleased with Swan
No.
at all.
No. It was bullshit.
It was a weird conversation because she like, you know how she does, where she's like she's having a conversation with herself,
Mhm.
and then invites me into this conversation that's halfway through, and I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah,
are
like,
you talking about?
where's the context?
Because I thought she was talking about you having like this massive bad attitude and being a dick, and I was like, what?
Oh, no.
That's me.
Oh, no.
What?
I'm just a bundle of
And she's
hate.
like Swan, and I was like, who the fuck is Swan? She's like, oh, the specialist. I was like, I
Yeah.
have no clue what you're talking about, woman.
We went in, they did x-rays, and they had our MRI, but the MRI didn't have a report on it, and he didn't want to look at it without the report, so he's like, it looks clean to me. So I'm doing 3 months of PT and then 3 months of Celebrex, which makes my back hurt more. It causes swelling.
Which one
instead
is Celebrex? Is that a?
or not it's one of the anti-inflammatories
Oh, okay.
along the line, one of those once a days that,
Yeah. Is
I
it
don't
like
mean to-
meloxicam?
yes, that's the
Pause.
one that fucks up my back.
Oh,
But
that's
you
right.
you said an anti-inflammatory that causes swelling.
Yeah,
Yes.
So, like, what's the point?
to
There is no
prove that there's something wrong in my hip.
Yeah.
It's the process. Normally it
Wow,
would have been
that's
like
horrible.
6 weeks of PT. I don't understand why I have to do
Yeah.
3.
I don't know.
He's like, and if it's still hurting, I'll come and fix it.
I wonder if it's like they don't think that your recovery went well. Because
That recovery went really well.
Well, and that's the thing is that like they already knew that your labrum was fucked and it might not work.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, we'll probably have to rebuild the labrum.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then why don't we just do that? I don't want to
Right.
have to do all this bullshit
Right.
for no reason.
For no reason. Well, and make things worse.
Right. It's going to be a fun couple months.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was pissed.
Yeah, it's
Jen was way more pissed.
It's the mentality of we can't fix it until we can prove that it's broken.
Right.
It's
Yes.
just like, but I
Well,
feel it.
It's the
Fix
check
it.
boxes.
Yeah.
Because they don't, and that's the thing is that we've learned over time that doctors assume that so many people don't know their own anatomy
That's true.
and they're not connected to their bodies the way that we are. And so it's hard for them to trust us when we're like, this is the problem, this is where it is, and this is the fix. Because they're like, there's no way you can know that. And you're like, but I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, not a fun process, but it is the process.
Yeah.
Shitty.
An extra long one for no reason, though.
I know, that's fucking weird. 3 months of PT?
Mm-hmm.
Is it once a week?
It's probably going to be twice a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be fairly intensive.
Jesus. Make them like
Yeah.
do a full evaluation then.
Right?
Be like, look
Check
at the way
me
I
head
walk.
to toe.
Look at the way I stand.
No, yeah, make them work for it.
Yeah. That's
Jump-
the thing.
I'm your
Anytime-
problem now.
Anytime
Jump
I go to
through my
PT, they're
hoops.
so useless.
Oh, yeah.
So useless.
I did PT post-surgery anyway. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like I didn't do my stuff.
Right.
And it was after it had healed that whatever happened.
So fucking stupid.
So, yeah, I was pissed.
I bet.
And I was sick that day. That was when I was running fevers, too.
Oh yeah.
So
Mm,
I was
extra
just
not fun.
not with it.
Yeah, you were not a happy camper over the week.
No.
And then there was nothing I could do. I was so busy.
Oh, man, it was weird.
It was just a week, man.
Yep.
It's always a week, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
All
All
right.
right.
So I have this lovely topic today. I put out just a kind of call to all of the Facebook groups. So I think it's like 5 groups altogether. They're fighting over the mic. What's
No,
happening?
that looked like they were being good
It was
boys
cute.
and girls.
It was
They were sharing.
sharing.
Sharing is caring. No,
And I don't give
just,
a shit.
I just wanted to give you the opportunity to like also have the
Here,
microphone.
I'll introduce our topic and then we can jump in.
yeah, sorry.
So I put out the question. So I was like, hey, all, we've got this podcast that we're doing. My question for you is, what are some pros to having EDS? And I knew it was going to be a little inflammatory, but I was super curious.
I've had the thought too before, like doing a pros list. And I was like, but I don't want to be there. It's
Right.
going to be a touchy
well,
subject.
and that's why I left it kind of vague, because I wanted to know where people's minds were.
Yeah, that's a
in
good way
this.
to address
And
it.
so we got I don't know. Okay, let's do this. Give me a pro, and we'll see. Because there were some like really prominent ones and really common ones, and then there were a couple other ones that were interesting. So pros to having EDS. Ready,
got
go.
It's a cool party trick to some people.
Oh God.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a good one.
People stopped asking me to do bullshit tasks.
There you go. Fair enough.
That's probably the best one. The excuse, like, oh no, I can't.
I mean, this is quite personal to like my relationship, but just that we can understand each other on a different
Yeah.
level.
That's true.
Like,
That's really good.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's a totally different dynamic for you guys because you're both chronically ill, which I think makes a difference.
And it's really interesting when because we were out just shopping at some point and somebody was walking around and they were just talking about EDS and we were just like, oh,
Really?
hey. And so we were able to just immediately jump into a conversation, and it just it was interesting to come across somebody who's just
It's just lies.
out and about. You're
Yeah.
just like,
Zebras
oh,
don't exist.
hello.
It's so
I know,
rare.
we're so rare.
Yeah, no, there's definitely community. Like,
Yeah.
there's definitely community, and I think that's a pro.
Mhm.
Even though it's like a shitty thing to have a
Right.
community for. But,
Right.
like,
Take a guess.
Take a guess.
Yeah. What do you think?
Am I trying to find the most rare one?
No, the most common one.
The most
Because
common
you guys,
one?
you'll like these. These are fun.
I don't know if I'm gonna like them. They might be the ones that piss me off.
Did it get you through
Well, they
PT
will,
stretch
but-
tests?
They'll make
Yeah,
you
right?
mad.
oh my god, being a kid in PE and doing the stretches and having gymnastic friends in kindergarten and being able to do the splits better than them, even though
Yeah.
I never stretched.
Did you know?
That was the shit.
I have freaking EDS and I've never been
horrible.
able to do the splits. Never.
It's because of it's the
It's
way
my
our hips are shaped.
my hip flexors are short.
Because we have like the overgrowth. So
Well,
like,
and we walk stupid
Yeah.
because we dump our pelvis out the back.
right. So you have to dislocate in order to.
Yeah.
That's why I had thought about this before.
So the most common one that I found was people saying that we look younger than we are.
I knew it. I was gonna say that.
that's
Not
like-
wrinkly skin.
Yeah, that's like number one that people gave. I think like number two that people gave the most. And this one's better. It's better than like we don't look old. We got empathy. So
Oh yeah.
we're
yeah.
extremely good at understanding other people and where they come from and being sympathetic and empathetic.
Yeah.
Which I think it's a massive pro. It's a completely different way of looking at things, which I think gives us the advantage in the like social emotional arena. And then there were, out of hundreds of replies, I think I got maybe 5 or 6, between like 5 and 10 ish, people who were like, none. There
Yeah.
are no pros.
It ruined my life.
Right. So I've had a lot of that, and people like, none, or it took my life from me.
God, that's the worst place to be.
Yeah. But it was so interesting how few and far between they were.
Right.
And then on that same spectrum, we had like maybe 3 people who got on and were like, this is super triggering. And I was like,
Why are you
Wow.
reading it then?
Okay.
you are in
You
a
clicked on the
headspace,
comment
friend. Holy
section.
shit.
Right? You jumped into this.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. They were like, trigger warning would have been nice. I'm like, no.
Bitch, please.
What are the pros to having EDS? I'm triggered and offended.
How
personally.
dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you insist on positivity?
So
Yeah.
it was super interesting because you've got
I was just about to say what he said, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, damn, took the mic for no reason.
there were a couple other really good ones. So like picking things up with our toes.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Oh
one.
my god, yeah. My feet can do so many things, and it has always like freaked out my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've always just been like, what?
Yeah, like being able to hold somebody's hand, except it's your
We
toes.
can hold our
Mhm.
feet because we both have stretchy feet.
There you go.
Which is so weird.
I can
the
grab Jen's
fetish
foot.
people are
I
She has
hold-
absolutely non-stretchable feet.
I hold my
Oh, yeah, no, I
toes.
can, like,
like
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Hold my
yeah,
big
yeah.
toes.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
tell. I've been told like, oh, you've got yoga instructor feet. It's
Monkey
just
feet.
like,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So we have monkey feet.
Yeah.
And then the other one that was pretty common was the sex is better.
It's not a bad
Which
one.
I'm like,
Arguably,
Okay.
yes, but then you can also hurt yourself
Right.
very
Yes.
easily.
It's like
and like,
I subluxe my kneecaps every fucking time.
oh
but
my god,
it's
I
fine.
feel and my hips.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we don't need to get
Yeah.
into details, but like,
But well, I mean,
the pain
Yeah.
for sure.
we're
Hips
all
for me too.
consenting
Fuck.
adults. It's fine.
Yeah.
stupid
Yeah.
ass hips.
I know.
Oh god.
Yeah. So that was the other. So it was really interesting to see people's positives because you have that like really surface level, we don't get wrinkly, and then you have like the emotional level of
Yeah.
we're better at understanding people. And then you have that mind space of there are no pros. This is the worst thing to ever happen to me.
I've been there.
And then people who were like personally felt attacked by my question,
See, I don't understand them.
which was fascinating to me. They were like, this is really insensitive. And I was like, but it's
It's
not,
insensitive.
because
I didn't walk in your house and be like, hey, let's
What
be
part of
positive.
it is triggering? The fact that other people aren't suffering and they are? Is that the problem?
I mean,
I'm not really sure because there were people who were like angry about people saying the stuff about wrinkles, right?
Yeah.
And so they were like, well, that's really stupid because of all these like cons. And I was like, I didn't ask you to
Right.
tell me what was like great about having EDS. I asked you for some pros.
Yeah, but the
Like,
argument is
some byproduct.
it doesn't
pros.
weigh out. It can't be a positive because there's so many negatives.
Right.
Not
And
how
I'm
that
like,
works.
it's not on a
No.
scale. I asked you for a pro.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really interesting because last week we kind of talked a little bit about relationship to pain.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to
oh.
think about where that conversation kind of left off, but I'm going to need some help.
Oh God, you're asking the wrong
I know.
person.
But yeah, no, it was interesting because we talk about relationship to pain and the fear of the pain, I guess.
hmm
And there are just so many people who view it. I don't even know. I'm trying to find a good way to put it because for me, EDS isn't like something that's tacked on to my life.
Right.
It's like built into the foundation of my life. Right. Whereas some of the other people were like, it was something that overshadowed their life.
I feel like those are
Yeah.
people who are newer to it.
yeah,
either
like,
newer to it or in a really dark spot.
Well, yeah.
Which is why, like, when they did comment that, and they were angry, I just literally was like, fair.
Right.
I would reply and say, fair.
Good
That's
point.
fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to not feel like you have a pro here. But at the same time, it's really interesting to think about the headspace, because I think we've all been there,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've all been in a spot where you're like, this is the worst thing ever, and it's not fair.
I think it goes like depending on the day for sure. And I don't know if like this is where they were at, but I know sometimes when you think towards like the future in a capitalist world, it's like, how am I going to survive
Yeah, no shit.
having
Yeah.
a disability? Even though I agree with you that like it very much is just like integral to my life.
Mhm.
Even though I didn't know about it until recently, I always knew that I had something
Right,
up.
exactly. Nothing
So,
was
like,
new after diagnosis.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, there's like a name for it,
Yeah.
and now I feel less like a freak. Like,
Exactly.
who's like, what's going on?
You
Like,
get your sanity back. 'Cause
Well,
Yeah.
it's like,
You're
oh,
not-
that's what it was, because we were talking about like diagnosis either making or breaking.
Oh,
you.
yeah.
mm,
I think that was 2 episodes ago, actually. Oops.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, no, I think that there's like that two-handled way of, there's a name now and I'm good with that, and then there's, oh my god, this is a thing that's going to affect me forever,
Right.
yeah, it makes it
and
real.
then you fall into this pit.
I was in that spot before I knew what it was, though.
Yeah.
You know, like I was like, oh, whatever's wrong with me is the worst thing.
Right.
And then you get out of it and you're like, oh, it's EDS. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
That was a relief.
So for us, like, diagnosis was a rescue.
Exactly.
But I think it's really interesting to think about like the perspective of someone who's like, there are no pros.
Right.
This
Well-
is it.
Pre-diagnosis, like, did people ever just tell you that you were like super sensitive to like pain and that you were just like a baby for just like being like, this hurts, or like this does not feel good?
I mean, there was a lot of gaslighting in childhood
Yeah.
that went on.
Well, that
But-
happens to everybody too. Like
Yeah.
everybody
It's-
that you talk to is like, it's growing pains.
Yeah.
It's just growing
Yeah.
pains.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always.
like, hey, I broke this. No, you didn't. You'd be crying, and it's just like,
Right. Well, that's
That's a-
exactly it.
that's
Like,
a fucked up standard.
if you think
Right.
about even what I went through on Friday and Saturday, like, I don't have the ability to distinguish what's an emergency.
Yeah.
I would, what did I say in the group? I would rather die.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it was pretty great because we were talking about like, why didn't I go earlier? Because I'm like, I don't know what an emergency is. I don't know what constitutes an emergency. And so for me, I'm like, I would rather die proven than go in and have someone call me a
it was like the hill you
hypochondriac.
were ready to die
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to find the actual one. Was it in the discussion or
I think it was inventing.
the ending?
I think so.
That's general. Why am I in general?
Yeah.
You should join our Discord.
You should send me an
Yes.
invite to your Discord.
It's in the links to all
if
of our
you
videos.
ever went to one of our videos, we even
Slacker.
say.
I know.
We even
Oh my gosh,
say
the
it.
other really big one was everyone was like, there's no spot on my body that I can't reach to wash or scratch an itch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was like,
This is so
yeah.
true, but it still feels better to have somebody else do it. Like, it
Yeah.
still
Oh,
feels
yeah.
Well,
better to be
that's
like, can you
just
scratch this
affection.
itch? Because like
Yeah.
I totally can't reach it. Like, I have lied about that before.
That's
My
affection.
whole life. Yeah.
That's the heaviest lie I've ever heard.
The
You're
other
a fucking
pro-
monster.
Yeah. The
I
other
lied
pro
about
is
an
being
itch
able to
once.
reach things that are technically out of your reach.
Yeah.
hmm
I like
Just
that
sit
one.
there long enough, and you'll just be like, all right, and slip,
And here we go.
and slip, and
Just a little
slip,
further.
and I got
That was
it.
my favorite part.
Clink, clink, clink.
My favorite part of doing
Oh.
the diagnosis for the geneticist was spread your arms out, and they were measuring, and then they had
Oh,
to
and
keep,
then you can keep
they're like,
getting
what?
longer.
It's like, just give me a second, it'll stop eventually.
When
It'll
I
settle.
stop trying, it'll.
Yeah.
You said, I cannot determine an emergency. I would rather die confirmed than feel like a hypochondriac.
Which puts us in fucking danger, really.
Yeah.
Like,
We've talked about that before, how
Yeah.
it puts people at risk. That
a
mentality.
lot. Like, a lot. like what you just said. It can't be broken, you'd be crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we walk around on broken bones. So, yeah,
Pain
it's
is
just
the normal.
right. Well, and that's say here.
Oh,
give her
sorry.
my-
Yeah, because pain is like the baseline. Pain is the normal. So
Right.
when you feel like a worse pain, it's just like,
Oh,
this
well.
could be nothing, or
Right. Well, with things coming and going so often,
Yeah.
like the ebb and flow of symptoms,
It gets different.
it does. It gets different.
It's a
We
good-
quote you a
good
lot.
Quote.
Yeah.
Your
We
sage
quote you
wisdom.
a lot. Yeah,
It gets different.
it
Yeah.
gets different.
I'm stealing that, and I'm stealing the obstinate tardigrade. That's my fucking
That
favorite
was
thing ever.
so funny. Wow.
One of our people in Discord was talking about how you have to survive, you have to keep going, and she was like, it's like you have to be an obstinate tardigrade. I was
Yeah.
like, that's perfect.
hmm
Yeah.
I love that.
Like, you don't have to be happy about it. You just got to wake up and just
Right.
go about your day and then go to bed and then wake up and go about your day.
Well, and that's the thing is like we talked about it gets different as in it'll be okay and then it
Right.
won't be and then it'll be okay again.
And it's okay that
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not okay.
And then it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like we've had a conversation a couple years ago where like you were rock bottom and I was like, it's okay to be at rock bottom. Just don't stay there.
Yeah.
Just make sure you get up and get out of rock bottom at some point. Don't
Yeah.
stay there too long.
Make whatever changes you need to
Right.
in order to just take
And-
a singular step in any
Yeah.
direction.
Well, and I think that's exactly it, is that like either you feel like you have the power to change something or you are surrendering to the idea that you can't.
Right. Well, and it's surrendering. You feel like you're being defeated.
Right.
Mhm.
By your own flesh.
Yeah.
Which is why like I understand where they come from when they're like there are no pros and this is horrible. Because it sucks.
Well, and
It just sucks.
I wonder what their
I get it.
situation is because
Yeah.
there are the like people who have the feeding tubes and
Yeah.
have lots of hospital visits and
Mhm.
like I can imagine that would be
Yeah.
the worst version of it. But
Yeah, it's interesting. It's
also
definitely-
think about what happened to your friend with her husband.
Yeah.
That shit, like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
But
Oh my god, and she is like I hate using the word strong because like either you give up or you don't give up.
yeah,
Those are your two options every day you wake up. Either you give up or you don't. But she has chosen to keep going. And she's just so lovely. She's such a like warm soul who just gives a shit about
Oh, shit.
people. I don't know. Let's think back to like rock bottom moments where
no, I don't want to relive the trauma. Let's just not.
I'm like where were we when we had that, I guess.
Well, it's I always have one moment, but I've talked about it before a lot.
Yeah.
But it was pre-diagnosis stuff.
Hmm. Well, and I think for me the same thing.
Mhm.
There was never a point after diagnosis where I was like, "This is gonna end me."
No, because you know what it is. You can
right. Well,
you
and
can
it
understand it.
it had always been there.
Yeah.
So I think it's different for people who are more minimally affected, and people who like get diagnosed in their 40s when things really start to go downhill.
Right.
So I think there's an aspect of that part where they live fairly normal
Yeah. Then
with some symptoms that are like a little unexplained, whatever.
that it's taking away things
And
as they
then
get older.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
where the loss
I
is.
think that's where my mom's at because like I present way worse than she ever did.
Right.
But like at like 55, she had to have her surgery to keep her insides from falling out, which is when they were like, this is because of your connective tissue,
Right.
not just because you had
Prolapse,
kids.
yeah.
Yeah. So that, and then suddenly she started to notice everything else too. And I feel like once it becomes real and you can't deny it anymore and you're getting older, then it's like, oh God, everything at once. Whereas like for people who've felt it more their whole life, it's just like, oh, well, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
This sucks.
It's
Yeah.
the difference between it being like built into you
Right.
Mhm.
versus the oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
Update.
attacking
Your
you.
update just
Right.
got in.
Yeah.
Your body got installed with
Installed
the
EDS 1.0.
It's
Yeah.
one of those like self outdating softwares. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it degrades.
It's
as it
Apple.
goes. Just let her hold the
Hello.
mic. She's got a whole tangent.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben, I have a tangent. I was trying not to go on a tangent, and lately people have just been like, yeah, Star, I think you might be ADD, and I'm like,
Welcome to the kid.
oh,
Yes.
I don't know. I just feel like because all
I
these
just
people I
assumed
know
you did.
are, yeah, I've always had, okay, so I grew up with a mom who didn't believe in it, which does not help.
Jen has the same
And
problem.
I had like a 4.0 growing up in school all the time because like anxiety is what drives me through ADD symptoms. So my anxiety keeps me focused. It's a
The threat of
mess.
failure.
yeah.
Yeah. So I just always thought, well, all these other people in my life have it, so I can't. Because there's not enough ADD for all of us.
Right. Like
That's funny because
there's so much in this room.
the
I know.
opposite of how I think about things.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm with Star. Like I feel like if I didn't know the EDS situation and like
Yeah.
it was just between us siblings, I'd be like, oh well, you know, everyone else has it. I couldn't possibly have it. Like
See,
I
that's
get
really
that.
interesting too,
Yeah.
because like we've talked about EDS, where I'm like, I can't quantify the rarity because I have it.
right.
It can't be rare because I have it.
That's how I feel
I get
about
that too, though.
my hair dye allergy fiasco, which just keeps getting worse. I literally
Backstory.
Oh. Well, okay. So as a kid, I dyed my hair every color under the sun because that shit's fun. And then one day I went to color my hair dark brown because I got harassed by an old man. Like terrifyingly sexually harassed. I was 12. And I was just like, I don't want to be noticeable anymore. Like I was done. And honestly, having natural colored hair did not stop the problem. I am still in a female body. What can I do?
It felt like a control option that you had.
Exactly. It felt like control. And then I ended up in bed for 3 days with everything swollen. I could not go to the doctor because I didn't have money. And so I ended up bleaching it out of my hair. And then I was like, well, fuck that. But I should be fine. Later on, I think I continued to dye my hair like crazy colors afterwards, but then like as I've gotten older, it's gotten worse. So I tried toning my hair because I have blonde hair now, and I'm not allergic to bleach, but I'm allergic to toner. So my like forehead, everything was swollen. And like a year ago, I tried a semi-permanent dye, which you're apparently not supposed to be allergic to. Like you're not supposed to be able to be allergic to that. I was allergic to that as well. I found a couple that I'm okay with currently. But like as I get older, I just become allergic to more of them, and it's very sad because I like having fun.
Yeah.
I like fun things.
Yes.
Fair.
See, I have a hard time with hair dye because I'm like, I don't want to commit.
I just shaved part of my head.
Just do it when it's just one swoosh.
Then I have to bleach it.
Just
and
one
then,
swoosh.
I don't trust my hair to not fall out if I bleach it.
I have that same fear. I had to double bleach this, and I was like, oh, it's just gonna fall off.
I'm terrified because I have super thin,
You're just gonna
super
touch it and it's just
fine
gonna break.
hair.
I was paranoid that if I even touched it, it'd be so brittle. But it's actually
I know
coming
all
out.
this stuff now because of where I work.
Yeah.
I know all of the hair treatments, and like because this has been bleached 3 times. I heat style it almost every day, and like it's still relatively healthy considering that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know all the stuff, and I can help you guys get it.
Take advantage while we can.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I get a lot of free shit too. So like, just let me know if you want like free shit. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway,
there you go.
Yeah.
Tangents are fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Where were we?
Wow.
Banana hammock.
Doesn't matter.
I think.
Oh,
Peanut butter rector.
Oh, we were talking about
relationship to pain, but that was a while ago.
So we were talking about like the relationship with pain.
Yeah.
Oh, and I wanted to kind of talk about like we should probably do this in the second half, but I want to talk about like changing your relationship with pain and changing your outlook on pain, coming from the perspective of someone who can't see a pro or feels like personally attacked by someone who could see a pro.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't want to shame those people or like make it sound like that's not an okay place to be, because it is. It is a point in your life where that's how you feel, and that's totally fine.
Well, it's like we said, we've all been there.
Yeah.
And it's not, there's no judgment at all. Like,
right. I'm like, but it's also hard like when we're not there, because we can look at that situation and go, it's not forever.
Right. But when you're in it, it's forever.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't look at someone like that and be like, it's not forever.
Well, and if someone,
which is why like I have to put.
If someone told me it's not forever and I was in the middle
You'd
of
be
it,
pissed.
oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like, and that's literally like you as a person have to be able to change your own relationship with pain.
Yeah.
No one else can do it for you. So yeah, no, I think that would be we can get into that in the second half.
Sounds good.
Where are we in our time? Do we want to take a intermission?
We could take an intermission.
Yes.
Alrighty.
We should make you guys do the outro.
Oh, they don't know the outro because they're not caught up. Bitches.
Look, I'm sorry.
So we're gonna teach you our outro for intermission.
Yeah, we can demo it.
Y'all gotta go drink your water,
Take your meds.
have a snack
Go
because you
outside.
deserve it.
You need air.
Get some sunlight, man.
And you're lonely?
Damn, I
Join the Discord.
You're not lonely?
Join the Discord.
Join the Discord.
You want cake? Fuck off.
Cake or death.
It's a lie.
Yeah. Don't have cake. I have Discord. All out of cake.
Also, like, share, subscribe,
Oh yeah.
so that I can like
Oh, and stay tuned
destroy my soul a
we
little
gotta
bit
stay
here.
tuned for the t-shirt stuff.
Yeah.
Jen was working on her design last night,
Oh, awesome.
and I really like it.
I'm really excited, and they want us to make spoonery for reels,
I know, and
Spoonery.
which is
Laura's
so funny.
convinced me, and I'm
I know.
designing it in my head.
We need to get our PO box so that they can
Send
send
us
us a bunch
spoons.
of spoons, and then we'll make spoonery.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made a comment in one of the TikToks or one of the episodes. We
Yeah.
were like, I was splitting spoons with Jen. Like I was taking her spoon energy to move forward and keep working on things. And then we ended up talking about how to
splitting
divide it.
spoons and dividing
Like,
spoons.
Why
and-
would you want half a spoon with like just the bull end or the stem end?
Yeah, it's like, are you gonna make earrings? And he's like, yeah. Also, fuck you.
Spoonery.
Spoonery. So now the spoonery's a thing, and then we have t-shirts coming.
T-shirts impending.
Maybe one
Yeah,
day you
so-
should make spoon earrings. I'm just saying.
Well,
Yeah,
it's on our
exactly.
list. We
Yeah?
got to get through our
Oh,
hurt
yeah.
body, clean house, and
Turtle.
helpless turtle.
Helpless turtle.
And on our break, we'll catch you guys up on the TikToks.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
So yes, go do your things, and then we'll be back
Hopefully. Who knows?
if you're lucky.
Don't look at the bar. That's cheating. In the description,
Yeah.
Discord. Go now.
There you go.
Bye.
Click,
Bye.
click, click.
Click. Click. Welcome back. How was your break? Ours was very long,
Yes.
but productive. It was really good.
We're gonna have some other content that'll be fun.
It's been so long, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We're talking about the relationship with pain
Ah, yes.
and changing that relationship with pain.
Gotcha.
So kind of diving into that, because we've all been at that like rock bottom point, right? Where you're like, there are no pros, everything is horrible, and it's going to be horrible forever.
Yeah.
And it's that like, it feels like forever, and no one could tell you differently. But how do you change that thinking yourself?
Therapy.
Therapy.
That's how I did it.
Willpower.
Well, I mean, it is, because in therapy, they tell you just to give yourself more positive affirmations. You have to learn to be nice to yourself.
Mhm.
For myself, it's using pain as like a currency, like a transactional thing. Like, I know that I'm going to be feeling pain of some kind. So what can I do to move myself forward? What pain am I willing to endure, I guess,
Okay.
to get to point B?
Yeah, you have an account.
See, and I kind of have, it's sort of the same thing, but like it's a credit card and I don't care how much goes on it. I'm like, I'll just pay for it all at the end of the night.
There's no
when I hate
self-preservation.
myself. No, I have no self-preservation
No.
at all.
That's why you're in spoon debt
All the time.
on your credit card.
Constantly. I'm in massive credit card debt.
Massive spoon debt.
Yeah.
Spoon credit.
Spoon debt.
For me, it's a lot of just trying to tell yourself like, oh no, don't enjoy the pain. You need to like take care of yourself at some degree. Because I used to just slam my head on pretty much anything as a child. Like,
Now,
Wait,
here's
really?
my question.
You used to hit your head on the floor?
right? Like
This
crazy.
boy had like a unicorn horn. It was so bad.
Used to?
Well, it's
It's
much
bone
less
callus,
pronounced
dude.
now.
You can see it.
It's
yeah.
there.
It's much less pronounced though.
If you were
Like,
in a fight, he could knock a
he
motherfucker
I
out.
could. I
Oh,
genuinely
bet.
could
Oh, yeah.
headbutt the snot out of somebody and
Yeah.
just be like,
Oh, I believe it. But looking back on that, where did that come from? Was that like you deserved it?
no, it
Because I
was
get that
Like you weren't
self-destructive
punishing
thing.
yourself?
no, it was definitely I'm punishing myself. It's I'm angry and I just want to feel anything
Ah.
except for the anger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So therefore the outlet was I'm just going to slam my head or fists or whatever into it.
Turn it into
in-
physical pain.
Yeah, and then offset the emotional pain into physical pain.
Yeah.
And then that can be treated with whatever,
Mm.
going to sleep, doing whatever.
Right.
Because you're no longer emotionally angry, so your brain's not keeping you awake. It's just your body being like, ouch, help. And then you're just like, I'm just going to sleep it off. It's
Also,
fine."
fuck you, body.
You're kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I feel like that plays into the balance between your physical pain and your emotional and mental state,
Mhm.
especially like, I guess like tangenting, not as far as we did
Yeah, no.
earlier.
Watch the tangent.
But
Oh my god.
yeah,
I'm fine.
tangenting into like when you have physical and mental disorders and trying to cope with both. And a lot of pain and pain currency for me anyway is like, how can I release that emotional pain or like that mental health pain by doing something physical? And then that will cause my body to be in pain. How can I balance that out? Kind of like you using that to
Yeah.
help with
Yeah.
emotional pain.
Hmm.
So yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of mental self-preservation that goes on, I think, at the expense of the body. Because for me, like, the body is it's
It's a
not
thing
of
you're piloting,
consequence.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not of any consequence. So, whatever happens to the body can happen to the body. And I don't fucking care.
Ditto.
But I think that's because we're so far separated from the body. Like, we have got to this point where we have completely disowned it. It's the car we drive, right? Like, it's the puppet.
You got a puppet body.
It's the meat puppet.
Yes, my meat suit.
Yes.
Classic meat
But-
suit.
I don't know. Like, so... And it's interesting, the relationship between emotional and physical pain, because we know that they can amp each other up.
Oh, absolutely.
So when
That's
you're
why therapy was
yeah.
huge.
So when you're in a lot of emotional pain, the physical pain can become overwhelming,
And back.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
So when the pain is bad, your mental health can crash. And when your mental health is bad, the pain seems amplified because you don't have enough spoons to process.
Now add
that
mania
pain.
to it.
Yeah. And then
When you lose,
yeah,
I should be
hyper
dead.
focus or mania or like the manic depressive episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes everything fun.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Right. So I think there's an aspect of it where we're like, the body's expendable,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's disposable. I don't care.
I'll just get another one. Okay. Just dispose of
Maybe.
this
I don't
one.
know.
Brain in a jar.
Does it matter,
Brain
though?
in a
Brain in
jar.
a jar.
So, one to say that's like a very interesting perspective that's foreign to me, because like to me, I'm like, this is the only body I have currently.
Yeah.
I do believe that I'll occupy a different body one day, but like this is what I have right now.
Where were we?
We were discussing.
Oh yeah, we were in morbid land for a minute.
Yeah.
Where
How did I work through
Sorry.
self-harm?
Oh
yeah.
God, yeah, self-harm.
Yeah.
For me, it's just been a linear.
there you go.
Sorry. With self-harm, that's just been like a linear thing for me of like trying to be in control of that.
Yep.
And then also coping with all the emotional pain of my life, which I feel like is somewhat separate, but it's definitely been a linear progression of like different things, and then trying
Yeah.
to find healthier ways to still have that control.
Did
Right.
you ever use it as like a punishment? Like, I deserve this?
No, because weirdly I didn't believe that I did. I
Nice.
just wanted
That's
it
good.
anyway. Yeah,
good.
I didn't believe that I deserved pain, but I did also believe that I inherently had no value.
Fair.
Which is interesting.
That isn't,
But I didn't
like-
feel like I never had the belief that anybody really like deserves that because they have no value. I think people who deserve pain are people who are horrible people
So
who have like
you
done
had, like, a
something.
neutral kind of view.
She's a chaotic neutral.
I am a chaotic neutral. Yeah. I was just kind of like I hated myself for sure, but that was like
Yeah.
not so much related to my physical pain.
Right.
But
That makes sense.
also didn't think that I deserved pain because of that.
Yeah. See, and I
Um,
just like, yeah, self-harm was a way of punishing myself, like
Yeah.
punishing the body.
Yeah, for me it was just control.
I was.
There was a lot of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me it was control, then it became like cuz trigger warning again. I mean, really fuck that. But like from cutting to alcoholism to then okay, how do I quit drinking? Let me just nicotine and then now
So
I
you
work
kind of
out.
hopped.
Oh yeah,
from thing to
because I'm
thing.
like what can I mean,
How can I self-destruct the most efficiently?
yeah, basically. But like working out has become more than just self-destruction for me. Although
but
there is an element of
there-
that
yes,
because like
there's the
I am
element of
disabled
pain.
and like there is
Yeah.
and like also the pain of working out is such a good release of like anger for me
That's why I like
as
running
someone
so
who turns
much.
to anger.
It hurts,
Mhm.
but I love it.
Running hurts
I
too
hate
much
running.
for me. I hate running too. I like lifting weights, man. Lifting
I don't have weights.
I don't do
And I could lift the
cardio.
treadmill.
I
have
go
a guest
I go to a
pass. Just
gym.
come with me to the gym.
I don't like you.
What
I
do you go
love
to
you.
do you
Yeah.
Oh my god, let's go.
I work with.
I'm too poor
She's
for a
lovely.
personal
she asks
trainer.
about you still.
too
She's very sweet.
I can't
Oh.
move. I have EDS.
No, you just come to.
No, I'm hiding behind. You're ruining the bit. You've ruined the bit's ruined.
You're a bit.
8-bit.
A
pissed
bit
off.
too much.
Whoa.
Jesus.
I love you.
The patriarchy is just taking it in the ass today.
Damn.
It's okay. They've never discovered their prostates. Now they will know.
Oof.
So you're opening the door for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Open the back door. Press the correct button. Okay, I'm done. Sorry, that was terrible. But yeah, no, it's interesting to like think about. I don't know. Because pain was such a constant.
Right.
So there was no need to fear
reinforced,
it. Right? There was no need to fear it because if you feared pain that continually, how could you keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I've never avoided pain. Like, there's never been a point where
No,
I'm
that's
like,
why clean house in her body.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
another weird pain thing from like my childhood anyway is the way that like my mom's relationship with pain was.
Mhm.
And she was abused as a child, like
Yeah.
very, very harshly physically abused as a young child. And she would always view pain as a bragging right.
Really?
Oh, I got
That was
this
a
really
badge of
painful
honor.
tattoo, so like look at me, I can take anything. Oh, I got this like worst piercing, like most painful piercing or whatever. Or
it's
like
the warrior people.
mm-hmm. And that very much
That
is what I
mindset.
grew up in. So like for me, that was also another layer of like my relationship to pain.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna like pain.
It just
I don't know. I
is.
feel indifferent for the most part.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Sometimes it sucks.
I
Ben,
don't
you
know why
good?
They're both staring at me.
I know. I
We're
don't know
not
what's
staring,
going on.
We're just sitting and listening.
Here.
Hmm?
Do you have something to say? Okay.
Fine.
Just know you can take the microphone at any point in time.
See,
Like
we
I.
talk about like. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
Then
I
my
just-
brain was like, speak.
No,
um,
speak.
We've talked about in the past that like our relationship with pain is. Pardon?
Nothing.
Do you want to fight?
No.
I'll take you on.
Oh, let's go.
Right now.
Fight.
Until one of us is injured by ourselves.
So I'm just not going to move.
There you go.
I went by default.
You're gonna let the hips just slide out. No, and I think the fear of pain is such a huge piece for people who are new to it.
Yeah.
And that like desire to avoid pain turns into like walking a tightrope almost. Can you imagine having to structure your life around not feeling pain? Like being so afraid to feel the pain.
There are people that are like that. Though.
There are.
How
and
do
it's
you do that?
fascinating
Because
to
like
me.
laying in bed is painful for
Right?
me, but like
Yeah.
so is sitting, so is standing. Like there is
We're
no
talking
not
people
painful.
that probably have like every kind of mobility aid, every
Right.
kind of like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
they're covered in every sense.
Yeah.
They have
It's
a thing for
crazy.
every contingency.
Well, and then you have like the camp of the body still has worth even though it's broken, and then they're
Mhm.
like preserving themselves, which
I
I
don't
don't understand.
like that
Like it
camp.
doesn't.
Sorry, guys. I
It
don't-
doesn't click in my brain. Like
Yeah.
I can't. Like even what you said, where you're like, it's the only body you've got, but I'm not really pleased to be here.
No, fair enough. I'm
like
the way oh sorry, I
I was
don't.
just gonna say the way I look at life is like a party that you
Yeah.
are driven to, and I didn't ask to be here, but I'm already
Well-
here, so I may as fucking well.
Agreed.
I'm already
Agreed on
here.
many levels. I guess the way I see it is like I'm here, so I want to do
Do
whatever
fun
I
stuff.
can to improve my quality of life, but I don't give a shit about the quantity of life. I don't need to be here for much longer. I've had a fair share of experiences,
Yeah.
but like while I'm here, I'd like it to be as good of a time as I can make it for myself.
Right.
So I'm not gonna like intentionally do shit that will make things even worse in the future, but also like being in pain.
It just is.
It is, yeah.
is or
Sometimes it
isn't.
affects quality of life for me, but most of the time, I feel like it's very much in the background to where I kind of just like forget that it's not normal.
Yeah.
Well, the other part is like you two are both chronically ill, which means that your home relationships are completely different from ours. Like it's like checks and balance with us. Like I have to do what I can do to like pull my weight
yeah.
and make sure I'm not becoming a burden on my husband, I guess.
Lose those feet.
What? Right?
Don't lose those feet.
I wouldn't be a burden. I would have lots of money. Bitch. But I don't know. It's interesting because now my relationship with pain is just like, it just is. And when I really struggle are those moments where like I'm just exhausted.
Hmm.
Like I am completely out of spoons. I can't process the pain anymore. Like you fatigue out of it,
Mhm.
right? Like your poor brain is like, okay, how much longer are we going to do this? I can't do this forever because you're always in pain.
Right.
Something always hurts. And then at some point your soul goes tired. And that's when, I don't know, that's when I feel low about things.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily like that anything's wrong or more wrong than it would be. It's just that I'm exhausted and like I need a break. I need to step out of the pain to regroup.
It's like the first time I took pain meds.
Mhm.
I was like, I didn't know what normal felt like.
Yeah.
So I was really
Well-
surprised. I was like, holy fucking shit.
And you didn't realize what hurt until it wasn't?
Yeah.
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 It was like eye opening.
hmm
It's like I didn't know people could live like this.
Right. Well, that was me yesterday. I took my last one. I'm supposed to refill on Monday, I think. But I took my last one because I was just in so much pain. Steroids, not fun.
Right.
Fucking horrible. I was like, my skin is on fire and everything
My
hurts.
skin is
Because
on
it does.
fire.
It just makes my skin hurt.
It
And
does.
It's like that vein burny thing, but like even wearing clothing is uncomfortable. It
Yeah.
hurts.
I get that. I get muscle aches,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
it
it's
starts swelling. I turn
Fucking
red,
terrible. Mhm.
and things that are supposed to keep me from swelling cause me to swell.
Right?
So,
Yeah. Oh, it's fun. But
Counterproductive.
right.
yeah, now the relationship to pain is just that it is. But-
Until it gets to be too much,
Yes,
though.
until it
There's
gets
a
to be too
limit.
much. Well, and then we have all these like internal mental and emotional walls that we have very carefully constructed around our experience with pain.
Right.
So, and it's disrupted when we come across things like pity.
How do you interpret that? Do you like when people feel sorry for you?
No, they can go fuck themselves.
But you poor thing.
If you feel bad for me, that's your loss. Like, if you spend that much time thinking about me and all of my pain, you clearly have nothing better to do. So,
Fair.
sorry.
That's an interesting take. I like that.
Sorry that you're
Sorry
worried
that you're
about me.
so bored that you're sitting over here being like, wow, that guy exists in pain. Like, yeah, and
Yeah.
What of it?
Yeah.
you jelly bro? Because you shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, I always appreciate an open space to vent about my pain. I love
Yeah.
that shit, especially when I'm at work and I'm just like, this fucking sucks, dude. But I mean, I agree. I'm in a similar train of thought. Like, why would you pity me? Do you think that I'm lesser than you? Because that's
Right.
kind of how I view pity is like, do you think I'm some like poor child
Yeah,
who is
you poor
helpless?
thing.
I'm not helpless.
You
Right.
poor victim of your own circumstances.
Exactly.
And it's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like there's this one message I got from someone, from Kaylee's friend or someone said,
Yeah.
like, oh, that boy is a warrior, and that just pissed me off. I was like, nope, no, I'm not. I'm just not dead.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. And we've talked about this before where I've said, like, every morning you wake up with two choices. Do you give up or do you not give up?
Or
That's-
cake.
Yeah. Cake or death. But those are your fucking choices.
Yeah.
And that's a choice that you make every single morning. And it's not that you're strong or a warrior because you made the choice to stay alive. Like, I haven't killed myself yet. Yay.
Ah.
Good job.
You did the
Woohoo.
one thing that life's supposed to do, which is keep
Kill-
existing.
No, actually, dying is the
I
one
was gonna
thing
say, you're
I think it's
supposed to do.
That's your one job. Is
That's
to
the
die.
end game, not the.
But yeah, no, and it's interesting because we come across people in the groups who are, even though they live with pain, they're terrified of it,
Yeah.
which I can't imagine how exhausting that must be.
It reminds me of this couple that I grew up with in Deming.
Uh-huh.
They were older, they had retired, and they were just living on land. And they were seriously drunks
Mhm.
because they were dealing with pain all the time.
Yeah.
But it's one of those situations where they made everything about it.
Mhm.
So everything could be excused,
Yeah.
right? Like any behavior, any like, oh, you're drinking way too much. No, it's fine. I'm in pain. Like,
That's like the I get to be an asshole because I'm in pain thing.
exactly.
That doesn't justify shit because you're still responsible for your emotions, whether or not you're in pain. Sorry.
I feel like that kind of like self-discipline to just like be responsible for your own fucking shit
Right.
is so important when like for us being in a relationship where we're both just kind of like we sometimes reach spoon debt at the same time,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's, I don't know what the word to use, that can be just like an intense time
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's just like here we are
Well,
both
it's
wanting
like
to be assholes because we're in
crumbling
pain, but
pillars
we have
supporting
to
each other.
yeah
Yeah, when you reach a point where you're just like, I love you dearly, and I will love you here in about 15 minutes, but for now,
Make
Can
your
you
face
just-
go away.
go to the other end of the apartment and play fucking Minecraft while I'm out here just doing whatever. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
I have
So-
that with Jen.
Yeah. Like Randy and I do.
which
too.
I do think that we've gotten a lot
That's
better
healthy.
at.
Yeah.
Although I think a majority of the time we'll just lay in bed, just like on our phones, just turned away. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I need
That's-
just to
the
just
first thing
sit
that popped
here
to
and
my
just
head was
not
that-
really fully be
It's
alive.
like, just don't acknowledge me, please.
Right.
Don't ask me to go to the other side of the apartment. I'm probably not going to want to get up, but we can just not acknowledge
It's
existence.
interesting because they didn't have to go through like teaching each other how to deal with someone who's in pain because they're both in pain. Whereas like we had to do a lot of
educating.
Yeah, and a lot of like groundwork and communication.
Well, and we were doing that before we knew what it was.
Right.
So we didn't have the full picture or vocabulary. Or
Well, and then we were just assholes.
we were.
I'm frustrated at my situation, and now I'm a bitch.
And I took diphenhydramine to sleep last night, and now I'm a bigger mess.
Yeah, no, I'm an
shit
asshole on
makes me-
Benadryl.
yeah.
Fuck. Like, I am a serious fucking asshole.
The mind fog gets you, man.
Jesus.
Not being
well,
able to
because
think
then, yeah,
clearly.
exactly. You're frustrated because you're like, I need to think. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I can't imagine being so afraid of. And I think that's where we get like that opioid addiction and dependency is when people learn how it feels to be not in pain. They don't want to go back.
Right.
Whereas for us, it's like a break.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we take a break from being in pain and then we're back in it.
Well, and that's
Whereas
when we
those-
take the meds is
Yeah.
for break time.
Exactly. Like that's my emergency bailout,
Yeah.
right? But when people are like on it all the time,
Yeah.
and then it becomes a fear of letting the pain back in.
And
So-
stopping the meds.
Yeah.
Like you have to worry about
Yeah.
the
So
withdrawals.
I think there's an
Well-
aspect of
Oh, sorry, I
like,
don't.
duality there where I don't know. Like you just once you've been out of it, you can't imagine going back in. Like it's like jumping into freezing cold water.
For some people, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's also like an interesting aspect of like people who have families with addictive personalities and that because like I have alcoholics on both sides of my family.
Mhm.
I was an alcoholic. So when it comes to like the idea of taking like a pain medication, I fully support that for other people, but I feel like that's something that I will never feel safe to
Yeah.
do with myself because
Jen-
I'm like,
That is a fear. Like
Jen
it's a
has
fear
that
we
same-
still have.
yeah.
Right. We feel guilty just
Yeah.
for filling. Like
Yeah.
I'm filling my prescription
Right.
that
But you feel
my doctor
bad.
gave me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's there's just so much like mess there mentally.
Jen has the same thing. She didn't want to drink for the longest time because she was worried that it would become her thing.
Well, and it's interesting because Dad used to tell us how addictive his personality was, and then I don't think any of us got it.
No, like
I think it was just the ADHD, and he had drugs on hand.
Yeah.
Like that was what that was. It
'Cause,
wasn't
like,
addiction.
I've just straight up stopped smoking cigarettes. I was a pack and a half a day smoker for like 2 years.
Christ Almighty, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I've never been over like half a pack a day.
Yeah, no, it was bad at a point.
I can count in years, like 3 times in 35 years.
And you were drunk all 3 times.
Yeah, I was shit faced.
There you go.
It's the best time for a cigarette.
I don't know
It is,
why
though.
drunk Chris does it.
There's
He
something
fucking loves
about
it, though.
there's something about like sitting outside with a cigarette in hand,
Yeah.
having a deep conversation while you're trashed.
Yep.
That's a thing.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's interesting because like we have like the ADHD part where we'll try things, but we generally like hop between
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, like it'll be I'll do this thing and then eventually you're just like I'm
I'm bored now.
burnt out on that. I'm gonna go to this other thing because
Yeah.
it's more entertaining.
Well, the ADHD and like impulse control and self-destructive and yeah, no, it's
Lack of survival instinct.
yeah. Well, and it's interesting because when we talk about pain management as a whole, like really pain management, we're talking about people with one pain.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was worried about David.
Yeah,
He listens to the podcast now, so I'm
Oh,
gonna be
really?
all like, "Don't say anything wrong.
right.
Don't tell him that you like him. He'll hate that." But
I like him.
he realized, he was like, "Oh, I should take over for you. What pain do you have?" And he's like,
All
"Wait,
of it.
you have EDS. I don't know about that." It's like I understand.
It's that fix-it brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard
I had
to fix
train.
us.
I had to train Randy out of it
Yeah,
because everything
no,
was
it's-
like, "I want to fix you," and I
it's
was like,
his
"I
love languages.
yeah." Well, and that's exactly it. He's like, "I want to be able to do something about it."
Yeah.
But we've evolved to this point that works really well. It's very comfortable now, where he's like, "Anything I can do," and I'm like, "Nope. I just wanted to let you know that I feel like shit."
That's what Jen and I have gotten
Yeah.
to. That was the do you need this? No?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I need something. Just know that I feel like shit.
Right.
That's got to be crazy.
I
I'm
assume
just
that-
over here like it. I mean, we kind of have like, do you need anything? But like, it's just got to be crazy to like have somebody who's just like chilling, doing okay. Like,
Oh, it's
we'll
so
just be
fucking
like-
frustrating
It's so
sometimes.
weird.
yeah, I
And
can
it's
imagine.
super weird when they get injured.
Yeah.
It's so weird
Oh.
when they have a pain that you're like, "Yeah, bitch, that's my life." Hi.
Every
that did
time,
happen
I
to me
can't
once
not
when
do
he
that.
got a stomach flu, and like I had it earlier, but I was like, I couldn't tell if that was like me being sick or if I
Right.
just ate something that aggravates me, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I want more of your appreciation with my stomach issues now because now you know what it feels like, and that's my constant. And now he's like, you get it now. But we don't have that with the majority of our pains because the majority of it, we're just like,
Yeah, it's interesting. When Randy broke his ribs, he was like, this is horrible. And I was like,
Yep.
I know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Go on. I'm always like, Jen, tell me about it. And I
Elaborate.
just smile at her.
Tell
like,
me all about it.
What does it feel like? The floor is now sticky.
Don't cry over spilled coffee. It didn't spill here.
We're good, baby. All right.
So,
Like I was saying, I'm gonna get to say something now.
my pod. Look
This
at
is his podcast, and fuck you.
this is my podcast now.
I'm the captain now. No.
That to me all the time, and I don't know what it's from. I miss out on so many of the references, but at least I get to pay.
Yeah. I was gonna say that it's super fucking frustrating when you're like having the worst day, and they're walking around and they're just like,
la, 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 la.
"How are you? Okay, that sucks."
I used to get mad at Randy when I was on
Oh.
crutches. Oh, this is my favorite story of just irrationally pissed off. I was on crutches for my first hip surgery, and Randy like booked it up the stairs, and I was like irrationally mad. I was like, what the fuck? How dare you go up those stairs so quickly and easily
Yeah.
while I'm over here hobbling and you're way the fuck over there now. What the hell, man?
I feel that it's important to note that while Ben and I both do suffer, one of the more frustrating things is that on our good days, they're not usually the same day.
Right.
So like planning out doing activities that are fun and like doing things that you want to do is so hard. And that's where I feel like some frustration can definitely like fester, is when you're just like, dude, I'm feeling good, but you're not. And then the
Yeah.
next day it's like, well, now I'm not feeling good, but you are. And it's
Well,
what do you do?
yeah.
And that
We kind of touched on that before, where you're like,
Little bit.
I'll have a really horrible week, and you're like, my week was okay.
Yeah, like
Sorry.
I hung out with the kids. I had food.
Yep. There you go.
I had a week. And she's like, I got shot by a kitten. And I'm like,
What the fuck?
we really have to get into this.
Yes.
She has crazy weeks.
It's because I live a really crazy life. Well, and I feel like it's just my entire life is built on momentum, which is also a little terrifying because what happens when I have to stop? And then you fall into the hole that you dig yourself by being out of motion, and then you have to dig yourself out of that stupid friggin' hole to go back into being in motion and
It's so
regain
hard.
some momentum.
I have been
So
struggling with that so much lately. Like, it has been so long since I've had like a clean area. Like, and I want that so bad for like my mental health and
Yeah.
like my mental sanity. And like, I started my tarot business, but then kind of just lost momentum because I was dealing with spoon debt for my part-time job. Like, it's
Jesus,
part-time,
yeah.
but they are so needy on like an energetic level because it's the most physical work that I've done. Granted, like, I know you do way more physical work, Ben, but like for me, it's one of my more physical jobs, and like there's just random like meetings and stuff. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's a struggle.
It is.
Momentum. How do you even?
And that's the
like,
thing is like,
how do you keep it? How do you regain it?
I need to know because I lost a bunch of momentum when I got sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was kicking
it's
ass on
hard.
moving and exercising,
It's
but
so
I
hard.
got sick for a fucking week.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to have to do 2 workouts this week, I think, to
Fuck.
just get some momentum back.
Exercising is how I start to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that can be really healthy, like healthy.
Healthy.
Healthy and helpful.
Healthy.
Healthy. It's healthy.
Eating well and being able to exercise for me, but like that's so hard. Oh
Yeah.
Now all I can think of is
that's so hard.
That's
what
a
I was
soundbite.
saying.
And I got you both saying it.
Oh
my boy.
God. Oh no!
I could have so much fun.
Please don't. Please don't. But what was I saying?
Oh, momentum.
Oh.
Rebuilding momentum and using exercise.
Oh yeah, exercising and eating healthy are definitely the best ways. But I feel like also just, I know this isn't related to like this episode, but in the in the other thing that we filmed about like capitalism and stuff,
Yeah.
eating healthy is something that like middle class and upper class
It is
people
not
are
easy.
afforded. It is not
Yeah.
easy for people
Well,
who are
that's-
lower income. It takes a lot of energy to make
Well, and a lot
meals
of
that are
money.
a lot of
Why
energy
is
and money.
The good stuff's so expensive.
I can usually afford the ingredients if you buy them at the base level, like
Right.
dried rice, for example.
Yeah.
But then it's so much work and that costs spoons. And so
Yeah.
it's like how how do you even
For me, it's
manage? I'm going crazy.
it is that momentum piece. Like
Yeah.
if I know I have to cook, I need to come home and not settle down.
No, yeah.
Not
When you
at
make your
all settle
schedule,
down. Yeah.
you plan it out so that you know when you're going to get your
Right.
downtime.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like putting tasks in such a way that they fall one right after the
Yeah.
other helps so much instead of that like wait time between tasks, because that can just fuck me up. And then the ADHD part of my brain is like on pause until
Yeah, you
the
get
next
paralysis,
task. Yeah.
event paralysis, just like
it's
sit there.
friggin' awful. So yeah, a lot of it is that momentum piece and follow the dopamine. Like,
Yeah.
and then there's also like I've been kind of doing more with the may as well principle.
Yeah, that's a good
So
one.
I'll walk into a room
May
and
as
go, oh, may as well put that away. And then next thing I know, I've cleaned the kitchen or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it takes a lot of, I don't want to say self-discipline because I lack that as a whole, but there is a point where you have to be responsible for yourself and go, am I going to stay where I am and let it get worse? Or am I going to improve my situation
Yeah.
little steps at a time? And then the other part is like knowing that the downtimes are not forever,
Yeah.
because everything feels like forever
But
when
you
you're
have
in
to,
it.
you know it, but you have to feel it too.
Yes.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Is
Well, and improving your
accepting it.
self-talk.
Yeah, fuck that. That guy's an asshole. We don't get along. It's like I said when
I told you, I'm like,
the therapist was like, talk to your younger self. I was like, no. Mm-mm.
no.
That is not happening.
You could not convince me to like spend time with like me from 6 years ago. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Self-talk was a big portion of like changing my relationship with what was going on in my body and like learning not to punish myself so
See,
brutally.
my brain doesn't talk to myself.
So you have no internal dialogue, huh?
No,
That's so interesting.
I never have.
Neither does Jen. Jen can
That's so
develop
weird.
one.
Randy
She can kind
doesn't.
of use one.
Randy doesn't either.
I can
It's fucking
only
weird.
if I do have like a dialogue, it is if I've been reading a lot.
Oh, that makes
I
sense.
can then write a book in my head of my day of my life, but like it's
Interesting.
not authentic to me. It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna write a book about making a sandwich or something like that. Yeah, it's weird. I don't even think in images. Like I just think in thoughts. There's no image.
Feeling.
There's nothing.
The way Jen describes it
Not
is like
even
a
Instinct.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
don't even know that I'd use the word feeling. Like there's nothing there, and like and what
So
makes
you're
it
very
difficult,
externalized.
I guess, but I'm very much in my head. There's just like nothing that I can quantify in words.
Right.
So there's
There,
Okay.
I am translating
Interesting.
to the outside world. I'm very much in my head
Mhm.
most of the time, but like I don't. It's so weird. This is why I think I might be autistic.
Well,
it's because
it's
I'm
not
like
even that. It's
this
that,
doesn't
like,
sound normal.
what we've learned is that there are people with inner dialogue and there are people
Mhm.
without, and
Yeah.
then there are people who can do both.
so weird.
I don't know. Like my world is built on words. Words. It's all words all the time. And that's why there's always music playing in the back of my brain. And I'm like, I've got 7 billion open tabs and I talk to myself continually.
See, I got music and a lot of stuff happening. There's just no way. Like it's just like it's not even static. It's like quantum foam. It's invisible.
So for me, the billions of tabs all running all at the same time. The only time I ever got those to like close was when I had my Adderall prescription. Was the second I got my Adderall prescription, it was just like, you have a task, and it's just like, oh, I could be really good at that task, and then I would move at
Hyper focus.
120% speed
I never
at
got that.
70% efficiency.
I just have energy.
Yeah.
I never had problems focusing on things.
I do. Just because like I get so easily distracted. My brain is always like, remember that thing you forgot to do
I have
that
mania
you
though.
meant to do?
The only
Yeah,
time I
that's
can
true.
focus is either anxiety or when I'm like just coming up from an edible.
Right.
I don't know why, but like the first time I remembered the hyper focus when I was just like stoned. I was like celebrating my friend's birthday and I was doing my makeup, and all of a sudden I was like, wow, I'm like really into this task. Like I'm not doing anything else mentally right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm not doing mental gymnastics. It was so weird.
So have you guys practiced like mindfulness or explored the mindfulness side of things?
A little bit. Sometimes I try, and then I
That was the basis of all my
forget.
therapy was
Yeah.
was
Mindfulness
Yeah.
and
Not
learning
efficiently.
not to fear the pain and learning like appropriate coping skills.
yeah, bringing yourself into the moment, out of
Yeah.
the pain.
Right.
A lot of my like, I don't want to say therapy because it's not But a lot of my coping mechanisms have, for me, come from like a spiritual lens of like shadow work and like being able to do like witchy things like tarot and like burn some herbs and cry about it.
Right.
But yeah, so in the more like Western and actual like medical and like research space, not so much, but I feel like a lot of those practices I have done just in my more spiritual lens. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. 'Cause like for me, practicing mindfulness is about like remembering that things are not forever and that everything changes and that time itself is fluid. And being able to bring myself into the moment that I'm living, where the past is not a thing and the future is not a thing, and I can just narrow in, which is really helpful because I hate planning anything.
We talked about this the other day.
Yeah, I don't plan. Generally, it's like spur of the moment stuff, or like a may as well, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't make plans because that's a good way for me to disappoint myself and then be mad at myself, and I don't need that.
My anxiety wants me to make plans. The rest of my brain is like, fuck plans. That's not going to work. You do things better on a whim.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out the balance.
Well, it's interesting because, like, I don't know. Have you ever thought about trying Adderall or something like that? Or getting a diagnosis for ADHD?
Getting a diagnosis would be lovely. I would love that. Any medication I'm really hesitant on because of my family's, like, addiction things. And just in general... And I don't know, I'm still learning to be okay with accepting that part of myself, like having ADD, because I've always just been like, damn, like I'm so annoying, especially if I have any stimulant, and just being like, I annoy myself. I annoy everyone around me. Why can't I shut the fuck up? So I feel like I need to reckon with that a little bit. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. I don't know.
You want to wrap it up?
I think so. I think it's a good time.
I only have 4.5 hours.
We have a lot of editing
through.
to do.
I'm sorry, we go on tangents.
No, it's all good. We're very good conversations, and I'm happy that we were having them.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben, if you didn't get enough mic.
Next time we'll have enough
it's okay.
both mics.
There you go.
I just need another splitter.
I'm
Right?
sorry, I had a lot to say.
Uno more splitter, yeah.
One more splitter. All right, my dears, my darlings. Thanks for coming along. I am really excited for this edit. It'll be fun. But take care. Be nice to yourselves and get some sunlight.
Don't forget to subscribe.
That too.
Time to shill.
Yeah. Subscribe, share, send it to everybody.
Yeah.
Spam everyone you know. It's fine.
Smash that like button.
And now I can go cry
Comment
myself
and
to
I'll
sleep.
Give you a like.
Comment and we'll
about
talk
it.
to you.
Yeah,
like
join the
to talk to.
Discord.
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 Good
Discord.
fun.
Discord.
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 All right. On
Bye.
that note, we'll say
Discord.
goodbye.